Laganas it's basically a Roman bread, sort of the precursor to pizza dough. It's an unleavened circular bread. I chose it because I took Latin in high school and college, and I wanted something that was Latin-based, also something that was easy to remember, and Lagana happened to be the one I picked. So I started the winery in 2013. Todd joined in 2017. I met him in 2012 when I interned at the winery he worked for at the time, Walla Walla Vintners.
My name's Todd Bernave. I'm one of the owners and winemakers at Lagana Cellars.
I was still in the restaurant scene at that point. Got more and more into wine through wine pairing and that kind of thing. But I didn't want to be a somm, and so I ended up finding the program at Walla Walla Community College in wine production that brought me out here. I came out sight unseen, had never been here before. I came in with the goal of just being in the cellar, working in wine production, but not necessarily owning my own company. That sort of fell into my lap when both my grandparents passed away and I got an inheritance. Luckily, with having interned at Walla Walla Vintners, I got into contact with some of the grape growers. But I got access to Sagemore, Seven Hills Vineyard, which is one of the most well-known. I have some crazy fruit that I got access to pretty early. I approach it from both an art side and the science side. So I'm pretty science-minded already. My first major in college was astrophysics, and then I moved over to anthropology.
I originally was an artist for many years. I went to art school, and when I came back from art school in Baltimore, my dad had started a job at a winery in Walla Walla. That was kind of my first exposure to winemaking.
On our website and our window and tasting room, it says, terroir and variety-specific wines. It's whatever the vintage gives you. That's what you got. It was a one-man show for 6 years. And then the winery he worked at was going through an ownership change. He said, well, I can just join up with Jason. I like his wines already. We have a similar palate, him and I, so it works out. We're 50-50 on winemaking.
I still live in Seattle, so he does more of the day-to-day operational stuff just because it makes more sense. He's there. I do almost all of our marketing, social media kind of stuff. Because that's easier to do remotely. I go back about once or twice a month to Walla Walla, and then during harvest I'm there for the whole thing because you can't make wine remotely.
So we're right downtown in Walla Walla, kind of right in the hustle and bustle of downtown. But it's a small space. It's long, not necessarily very wide. It's only about 11.5 feet wide. All wood floors, built in the 1880s. So it is a old building itself. But it's been renovated, so it looks nice and beautiful inside. Everything is seated, so you walk in, we'll get you seated down, we'll get you some wines, and I'm right there, maybe 10 feet from you, talking to you about stuff. Sometimes it's just the weather, or the crazy things that I am. I have random tattoos like Hello Kitties, so everything. I am 100% screw caps. Everything I do is under screw caps. So I keep my booze easy access. About 95% of the wine grown, or the vines grown in Walla Walla, are red. But what really sets us apart is we make Pinot Noir. We're the only winery, I think, now that has continuously made Pinot since 13. So we do Pinot as a rosé and Pinot Red. Washington has a lot of Pinot, but most of it goes to bubbles for sparkling wine production.
My name's Todd Bernave. I'm one of the owners and winemakers at Lagana Cellars.
I am Jason Fox, one of the owners and winemakers of Lagana Cellars, located in Walla Walla, Washington.